Let's talk about how emotions have an impact on your performance in your sport. My name is Dr. Jay Kavanaugh of Rack Coaching, and I'm a mental performance coach for athletes, and I help you think like a champion to become one. So let's talk about emotions. So there's a whole bunch of powerful insights when it comes to emotions. Think about it. First of all, let's take a step back. One of the most important things you want to know about emotions is they guide your decision-making process. Now, if that doesn't stop you in your tracks for a moment to say, whoa, 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 whoa. So you're saying the decisions I make will be determined by the emotional set point I'm at? Yes. So if your emotions are here, you will make a decision that aligns with that. If they're here, you might make a different decision. Now, when I say here or here, I'm talking a lower vibe, like frustration. Here, a little more excited. Here, joyful. Here, I'm in the zone. Depending on where you fall on that scale, your decisions will align and be filtered. It's almost like emotions like a filter. They filter your decision-making process. So think about the impact of that, right? So let's say, for example, you're frustrated. All of a sudden let's say you're a motorcycle racer and you're frustrated. Now all of a sudden you're frustrated because someone cut you off, someone checked you up in a berm, they were a little aggressive, Now all of a sudden you say to yourself, geez, I feel frustrated. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna come in hard. I'm gonna totally plow this guy in the next turn as hard as I can, check him up to let him know that I'm the boss and he's not, okay? That's where ego gets involved, but that's a different video. But anyways, you've made a decision through an emotional state that may likely not serve you. So let's keep walking through that scenario. So now all of a sudden, you're instantly frustrated. You come up with a decision that you make and you take action on it. Now you go to check this guy up, but he kind of knew you were going to do it. And he sets you up in a way where you overcook the turn, you go off the track. Now all of a sudden he's got a 5-6 second lead on you instead of a 2/10 second lead, right? Now you've completely blown it. There's 2 laps left in the race. You're done, kaput, adios, game over, okay? Now, that was because you made a decision based on the emotion of frustration. Now let's replay the same scenario, but let's change the emotion or the filtering process for the same event that triggered you, right? Because there's always a trigger. What caused that emotion was a trigger, the trigger of him checking you up aggressively, in your opinion, too aggressively. So now all of a sudden, let's say you're like, hey, I'm having the day of my life, the ride of my life. I've been putting it, like, this is not a conscious thought, but if your emotions are, hey, listen, today's my day, like the whole day has been going your way, the whole weekend, the prep up to the week, let's just say your emotions, you're vibing high. You've got a higher vibration about you. You don't really care about anyone else in the track because you're just focused on your own race, okay? So you're emotionally either neutral, calm, relaxed, maybe not in a flow state. You don't have to always be there. That's a hard state to get to. But let's say you're in that emotional state that is above frustration, that is vibrating higher than frustration, okay? So now all of a sudden the same thing happens. What do you say? All right, checked me up. That wasn't cool. Hit the reset button. I'm going to charge and I'm going to get him within the next lap. I know one spot where I can get him, where I'm faster. I'm going to charge and go. Now all of a sudden you've made a decision that is not as much a reaction as is a response, okay? All too often when you're a lower vibe emotion, you're frustrated, you're angry, you live in this fight or flight state, you start to lose your rational thought and you start to react instead of respond. Now think about it. If you're in that anger, frustrated state, which is very much activating parts in your body that are very similar to fight or flight, if you're being under attack, your body doesn't know whether it's just someone checking you up. Your body makes you feel as if you're the same feeling as if you're being chased by a saber-toothed tiger, okay? So that emotional state, you've got to shift it. Because if you're making decisions through that emotional state, they are not going to serve you. You are going to react. You don't have that ability to consciously think for that split second to respond, and instead you react. And that reaction is, hey, I'm being threatened. Your brain and body doesn't realize, and it thinks that I'm being threatened. So what does it do? If I'm being attacked, I can do one of 2 things. I either fight or I run, okay? Well, I'm racing. I ain't gonna run nowhere, so I gotta fight. And so boom, you come in hard on that guy. Didn't work out. Now, you might say, yeah, every now and then it does work out. I mean, Bowers has punted Barsha and it worked out pretty good for everyone. Bowers got in front of him and Barsha walked right off the track. If you saw the video, it's actually pretty entertaining. But you get my point. the odds are against you if you make decisions out of frustration. Now, here is a very powerful thing that you can do. Change your perception of the feeling, and now all of a sudden the label on the feeling changes, and so does your decision-making process. So let's say that you feel like you're frustrated, but let's say that you actually shifted your thought on what you feel and be like, you know what, I'm excited to get by this guy. Let's just say that you develop that superpower, which you can develop with time, labeling your emotions. When you feel something, it's your body doing something, but there's a label you have to place on it. Like if you're on a roller coaster and you're going up to the top and it's going tick, 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 and it's about to go over the top. Are you nervous or excited? Okay? Are you nervous or excited? Now on the way up, you might say, oh, I'm nervous. And then on the way down, you might say you're excited, right? But here's the thing. There is no difference in your body between the two feelings. They feel exactly the same. You'd be like, no, fear and excitement are different. I didn't say fear and excitement weren't different. I said the way they feel in your body is the same. It's true. And so the label that you put on it is important as well. So let's go back to the example. We say, hey, I'm frustrated. Whoa. I don't allow myself to feel frustrated. I turn frustration into excitement and to aggressiveness. Oh, okay. And now all of a sudden you've at least kicked things up a level. You've raised up your vibe. You've raised that emotional vibration a little bit. Now all of a sudden you're looking through a different lens when you make your decisions, and now you might plan out a pass. You might respond instead of react. And that increases the ability of you to have the outcome that you are looking for, which is to get by this prick. That's what you want to do. You got to get control over your emotions, or else your emotions will control you. You have to gain control over your freaking emotions, or your emotions will control you, and your results will suffer. Okay? So, that's one of the most important things I want you to know about emotions. And don't forget, thoughts provoke emotions. The label that you put on an event, someone checking up on you, if you're playing tennis and someone gets 3 aces on you in a row, the label that you place on that event determines your emotional response or reaction to it. If you get 3 aces slammed on you in a tennis tournament in a row, and you say, wow, that means I suck, that means I'm going to lose, then what emotional response do you think you're going to have? That thought and that label creates a certain emotion. Now, instead, if you say, well, we got 3 aces, I guess for me to win, I have to step the hell up. Well, now all of a sudden, you have a different emotional reaction. Now it's excitement. It's getting creative. How can I get points on this guy? All right? Gain control over your freaking emotions. Work on it every day. There are ways to improve. If you need help, I will help you. There's a description below. Check it out. Read it. Click a link. Do something. But at least do something different. If this video resonates with you and you do nothing different, why even play your sport? Why even go there? Why even show up? Why show up this weekend as the same exact athlete as you were last weekend? Why? Why? Especially if last weekend didn't serve you well. And if emotions were a part of it. You'd be crazy. You're expecting something different to happen when you're going to be the same person last weekend as you are this weekend? If you want to become a champion, you need to change. Not things outside of you. Not things outside of your control, things that you can control. The way you think, feel, and act. Your emotions. The actions you take. The filters you look at things through. The perceptions you have. The labels you're placing on any micro moments in your sport. You can do this. If you need help, check out the description below. Find me. Ask for help. It's okay. Anyways, thank you so much. If you like these videos and you want access to more, we're going to keep killing it here on YouTube. Like and subscribe. We also got these 2 videos right here, which I think are great too. So keep that momentum going. Stop for a second, think about how to take action on what I just said, and watch one of these 2 videos. They're really good.